Tesla saw a 13% drop in first quarter vehicle deliveries compared to a year ago. And it seems like when there is a Tesla headline of late, it's bad news. Protests at Tesla stores focused on the company's CEO, Elon Musk, and his connection to President Donald Trump, and of course, DOGE, that Department of Government Efficiency. Can Tesla ride this out, or is the company and the brand irrevocably damaged? Let's go to James Lalli, independent automotive analyst. He's on the line. James, welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Elias.
First things first, is Elon Musk affecting sales? Do we have evidence that Elon Musk is hurting the company?
I think there's no question that Elon Musk is to a certain extent affecting sales. And I think a lot of people think that this sort of started, 6 months ago when Elon Musk first sort of endorsed Donald Trump and all of the fallout that's happened since. But really, if you look at the history of Tesla sales, Elon's sort of been negatively affecting Tesla sales since he really purchased Twitter and started becoming a lot more active, particularly in politics. And this happened in late 2022. So there's a track record going back to then. It's just less obvious, and it's a little bit harder to see because really the result of the impact has really been in Tesla's financials over the years.
Now, I've heard, that can lead to weakness, particularly among those on the left, but that, there are the people that used to coal roll Teslas, right? They'd specifically, the gas guzzler type that is now open to buying an electric vehicle, particularly one made by Elon Musk. Any truth to that side of things?
Republicans are certainly more open to it now, but if you look at Tesla's core audience, core target customer, historically, it's always been Democrats, right? And multiple surveys have shown this, that Democrats are much more likely to purchase an electric vehicle. So what's happened is, with Elon taking a much more active role in politics, particularly on the right side of center, the purchase intention among Democrats has fallen considerably, and the gap has not been made up by, the increase in interest from the right. So there's been a net sort of negative effect there.
Now, diving into the numbers here, I guess the question that I have is, are sales truly bad, or is there a bit of industry weakness? It's not lost on me. Rivian, you'd think if people are abandoning Tesla, they'd go over to another electric vehicle startup. They'd go over to Rivian. Well, their sales went down significantly. Stellantis has been a basket case. They're not posting on Twitter. So is there a case here that there's broader market weakness right now?
When you look at how Tesla's performing relative to peers, there's the sort of the gold standard metric to look at is market share. And so there's two different types of market share that we can look at. We can look at total vehicle market, and we can look at electric vehicle market. And in both the total vehicle market and the EV market, Tesla has lost share over the past year, and they're continuing to lose share in 2025. So I think there's no question that there's a disproportionate effect happening with Tesla. It's not all due to Elon Musk. There's other issues that the company is facing right now with their vehicle products, but for sure, they're not performing as well as their peers.
With independent automotive analyst James Lalli talking about Tesla. So let's talk about perhaps the car portfolio. I'll start off with Cybertruck. This is another thing where I see a difference of opinion. Is the Cybertruck a flop or not?
Cybertruck is a very interesting product because it's Tesla's most advanced technological product. I think it's a great product, but the issue with Cybertruck is not so much the product itself. The issue is that it's a truck that competes. Obviously, it's a pickup truck. It's the biggest vehicle segment in North America, the most profitable. And I think what Tesla did was they went with a product that's maybe on the, a little bit niche. It's a little bit extreme for most people. It's not very conventional and mainstream. And from that perspective, I think you could probably argue that it is a flop because although it was the best-selling electric pickup truck last year, and also there were several months last year where it was like the highest-selling vehicle of any kind, over $100,000 US. So it has had a relative amount of success. The issue is it's still very small. They only sold maybe 35 to 40,000 units all of last year. And the pickup truck market is huge. So when you're looking at it from the perspective of, well, they had an opportunity to really launch a product that can really disrupt the biggest segment and do something like the Model 3 did or the Model Y. And instead, they launched sort of a niche product at a very, very expensive price because it's very difficult to build at a low price. And so they have to price it high. That's where you can think, well, maybe, this could have been better thought of.
What about the product line in general? And I've heard some critique that, a lot of their vehicles are long in the tooth. I know they've refreshed the Model Y recently, but that something needs to be done overall with the product line.
Yeah, the Model 3 was refreshed last year. Model Y is being refreshed right now, actually. All four of Tesla's factories are actually in the process of converting or have recently converted to the new Model Y, and I think it looks phenomenal. I think it'll probably do very well like the previous Model Y has. But, over time, Tesla's had to continually reduce the price of their vehicles. And if you look back, again, it kind of starts back in Q4 2022. They're producing less and less profit per vehicle sold over, almost every single quarter since then. So there's definitely sort of an underlying issue, and I think a big part of it is the brand issue that you mentioned at the top.
On the branding, let's wrap up on the branding. Should Tesla start to advertise? They don't, and some would say it makes it particularly easy for bad headlines to go around the company because media companies aren't going to have to pay any price if they target Tesla. So what do you think? Should Tesla open up the coffers and start advertising?
Yeah, I think absolutely Tesla should advertise. They should have probably been advertising for years now. Like, people don't realize this, but every time Tesla lowers price, and that they've been managing to, grow volume over time by lowering price. But every time they take a price cut of like $1,000, that price cut cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's hard to sort of look at it that way. But if Tesla were to invest, say, $1 billion in a mass advertising campaign, they would probably generate a very good return on that investment that would sort of pay dividends over time. Yeah, and there's a lot of misconceptions, like among the average consumer about electric vehicles, things like range anxiety, things like charging. There's a lack of general awareness. Reducing the price of a product is not going to fix that problem. Advertising could.
And is there a cheaper, lower cost vehicle coming from Tesla?
Potentially, so there's a rumor, and they've been sort of guiding towards more affordable models the first half of this year, and already sort of halfway through the first quarter, or halfway through the first half, rather, and we haven't seen anything yet. There are other rumors that there's potentially a smaller, more compact version of the Model Y coming into production this year and mass production next year. So potentially that's something that could help them if they can, penetrate a lower part of the market at a more affordable price, providing access to more consumers. That's something that's possible. We're looking to that later this year.
Does any of that matter if Elon Musk continues to be by Donald Trump's side and continues to tweet in the manner he's been tweeting?
Well, I think it's still going to be an attractive vehicle. Price is ultimately key, right? And then depending on the value that Tesla can put into the vehicle, it will play an important role. Where Tesla gets hurt, though, is because there's a sort of a brand issue now. Tesla won't be able to sell that vehicle for as much as they would have otherwise, and they won't be able to sell as many. So it comes down to really the financials of the company suffering as a result of this.
James, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your insight on the show. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Elias.